Hello brothers and sisters and fellow YouTube viewers. My name is Tavis Bradley and I am coming to you today to share my experience and my inspiration for life itself. And mainly I want to share with those of you who may be in a place of hopelessness, so to speak, in a place where you may be suffering from a form of disease, you name it, what have you. You might feel like your back is up against the wall, and you might feel like life has betrayed you, or you have been left behind. God has forgotten about you, you know what I mean? Those of you who are going through a dark night of the soul, so to speak, in terms of your ailments or your suffering, your lack of health, your feeling of fatigue, of weariness. I'm taking the time to make this video to inspire you, hopefully, to renew yourself, to hit the refresh button on your emotional body, on your psychic body, and your physical body, and to turn your attention and your focus towards life, towards magic, towards the healing power of our Creator, of our source, from where we come from. And that sounds pretty, and it sounds easy, I'm sure, and if you're suffering, I'm sure that it's irritating and aggravating to hear that as well, because you feel like you've tried, and you feel like you have been doing what you need to do, and it's just not working. So I would like to simply say to just surrender, first of all, let go. Let go of whatever your frustration is, whatever your anxiety is, whatever your stress is, whatever your heaviness may be. Simply take in a deep breath and let it go. Surrender. Free yourself. First step. And then I would like to say, please turn yourself to the life force, to life itself. Return to the currents of life in the form of living food, in the form of simplicity, in the form of passion for living, passion for choosing life. You have to have that before anything else. First, you must let go of what is troubling you. If you're experiencing a state of dis-ease, if you have a stage 4 cancer situation, and if you feel like you're at the end, you may be at the end, but it's up to you to decide what you are at the end of. You could be at the end of experiencing disease if you choose. You can end that now, and you can make a choice within yourself. And please remember that the mind is the commander of the body in many ways. So if you make a decision within yourself through your will and through love for yourself, you can awaken your physical body and prompt it to follow your command. The command of the will, the command of your thoughts, the command of love. So I would simply like to say that we are all at crossroads every moment of our life, and we have a choice to remain on the road of suffering and conflict, or we can simply turn our focus the other way. You have that choice, and I have that choice. And I personally, every moment, renew myself. Every moment is new, so we have to renew ourselves with that commitment and recontracting ourselves with the living forces around us, and choosing positive approach to everything, seeing the light within everything, seeing the beauty in everything. And in your suffering, you have an opportunity to step out of your suffering and to look at it and to realize that it didn't happen without your participation and without your will behind it. And of course, there's a great part of that that has to do with your karmic train, so to speak, and it being in its own motion. But you also have to remember that we are currently at this very moment creating our karma for the journey ahead. So we are sowing our seeds currently at this moment. And from my own experience, I can share something that is of the absolute most beneficial for me. There is something that you must know first, that you have power over your life. You must also know that you have the power to stop, to change karma as it is approaching you. If you have created a current or created a movement of cause and effect that is coming your direction, and it is the harvest season, so to speak. So in other words, say you created conflict with this situation, say you did harm, say 4 years ago, just for an example. It is a correspondence to this day, say, for that 4-year mark to come around and to express itself to you through the law of cause and effect, through karma. And you may have been one way during that time of your life when you were involved in creating that conflict. When it comes time and that harvest season is here, and it comes to your door, say, so to speak, say the time that you created that conflict, you sent out a letter, so to speak, to the universe, because it's a contract, cause and effect. What you do comes back to you. It's a contract. So say you put an address on there, in a sense, and 4 years later, you in essence sent that letter to your door, to your address in the future, 4 years later. And when that letter comes to that address, you no longer live in that address that you addressed that letter to, that you co-composed with the universe to deliver to that address. Now you live in a different address. So when it comes to that address, it cannot be delivered to you, and it is therefore returned to sender. In other words, it is returned to the source from whence it came. And the way you can do that is by completely changing yourself, changing your heart, changing your feelings, going through a transformation, being honest with yourself, looking at the conflict within, looking at your actions, looking at all of this. And you can be engaged in a transformational process, baptizing yourself with understanding of why you did what you did, seeking and allowing forgiveness from the Great Spirit, from the Creator, and from yourself, going inside yourself and surrendering, changing that frequency of conflict into peace and into love, an active love that is going out into the universe and loving actively the environment around you. Therefore, you are changing your address, changing your frequency, so that when that karma comes to you, it is dissolved and it is returned back to its source. This is, I'm sharing this because I want to let you know that you have power and control over your reality and that you are not a victim. Everything that you do, everything that happens to you, you have engaged in that contract, you have participated in it. It's important to know this and to understand this if you want to find your way out of the spokes where there is pain and suffering and movement. To find your way back into the axle, into the center, you have to take responsibility for your actions and understand that you are creating your pain and suffering and your joy and peace. So those of you who are suffering from ailments, from cancer, from diabetes, from terminal diseases, first you must surrender and let go of the obstructions, let go of the tension, of the anger, of the resentment, of the conflict. And you need to first of all accept where you're at and accept the fact that you brought yourself there and you were not a victim and nothing made this happen to you. You were a part of it. And let go. Forgive yourself. Love your body. Come back into that place of alignment. Come back into acceptance and ownership. And then introduce life in the form of medicines from the earth. The clays, the fruits, the herbs, all of this kind of thing. But the foundation must be the surrender, the forgiveness, and the ownership, and the acceptance and the understanding. All of these things are necessary as a structure to allow for the beauty and the gift of life force itself to truly make you into a instrument and an experience overall of tranquility, peace, and love. It is a way of life, and that way of life is not simply at the food point. It is not simply a way of life of eating. It is a way of life of an all-encompassing healing, constantly healing and constantly tending to wounds. As you all know, this world offers wounds at every corner. It is a harsh environment, and because we have a lot of wounds and traumas, and so we are interacting with each other from those places. So the difference between experiencing peace and experiencing love and not is simply by your reaction to what happens to you. If if you have a shop, if you're an owner of a store and someone comes in and they steal some of your merchandise from you, and you witness it and you see it, you can react in a way that's violent and out of rage and out of anger and out of hate and out of isolation and separation, or you can react out of a place of love and understanding and try to look at it in the light of love, in the light of that we are connected, and that person who stole from you may have needed that, and you don't know what the story is. So it really is about reacting to life, and in essence you want to become an actor, not a reactor. You want to move through life as a current, with purpose, with intent, moving through and slicing through the mist, so to speak, and being love, being peace, and not looking for it from somebody else, and not criticizing somebody or giving somebody a bitter response because they didn't love you or they acted a certain way that you didn't think was loving. Instead of looking outside of you for love, or looking outside of you for peace or goodness or being treated the right way, become that yourself and move through the mist, slice through the mist as the current of love, a current of life, of mending, and offer that to every environment that you come across. And don't be a reactor to life, be an actor. Choose to be an actor. Be active, interactive. Don't wait for something to come your way and to be in your environment and to do what it does and then react to it according to your pain and conflict within. Baptize yourself, renew yourself from that. Sweep your heart, sweep your emotional body just like you sweep and clean your house. Take the broom of your soul and sweep daily, twice a day if you need to. Sweep the heart, sweep the emotional body, and sweep the thoughts. Make them clean, make them new, and make them free and light so that you can be a vessel and an instrument of change. This is what is needed in the world most of all. It's needed outside of you, and it's needed for you. And therefore, disease and treating disease can never be truly treated and cured, so to speak, through food or any diet in this world. It is a full spectrum approach. You have to approach it in a way of dealing with your thoughts, your feelings, and your acting body, your physical body. I'm sharing this as a hope for inspiration for those of you who may be suffering, as I experience a lot of people suffering in my personal world day to day, and the people that I work with, and that I'm around. There's a lot of suffering, and I simply want to make it known that there is a way out of that, and that to rely on that to change from a source outside of you is, in a way, a false hope, because it has to come from you. It's in your power. It's up to you. So that's it for this video. I simply wanted to state that and to share that as an inspiration of life, and to move towards the power of life and the power of healing and the power of taking responsibility for your life and realizing that, and also making that choice to be an actor and not to react to life, to react to find sadness, to find loss, but instead to be in a state of unattachment, but in a state of passionate giving and loving and experiencing the forces that are right at our fingertips and at our access around us every minute. For those of you who would like more help, who would like more guidance, support, feel free to go to my website, tavisbradley.org, and I would be glad to offer you a consult to help you further, and or email me, and I'd like to let you know that I'm here for you, and that I would like to help you if I can, if you're ready for it. But in the meantime, please choose life, please choose love, and know that I love you, and of course your Creator loves you and has never abandoned you and has always been there for you. It is simply the veil that we put up ourselves that creates a sensation of loneliness, isolation, and abandonment. The Source has always been there for us, has always loved us, is continuing to love us, and is always eagerly awaiting our return to our center, to that place of peace, so we can feel within ourselves the Creator, that current, and so we can feel that love and feel that oneness instead of separation. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope that this helped at least one of you out there who views this. Choose life.